Respect is something we all want, but what do you do when it's nowhere to be found? When people belittle you, dismiss you, or subtly undermine your worth, the gut reaction is often to push back, defend yourself, or even cut ties completely. But what if there's a smarter, more powerful way to handle disrespect, one that doesn't sacrifice your peace of mind or dignity? Welcome to 5 ways to handle people who don't respect you, inspired by, no, powered by, the philosophy of the Stoics. These aren't quick fix tricks or power moves to win against someone else. They're grounded principles, practiced for centuries, that empower you to stay calm, confident, and in control. Imagine a life where disrespect just slides off you, leaving your self-worth untouched. That's exactly what Stoicism offers. Each of the methods we'll cover, from the art of silence to the power of setting boundaries, is designed to help you handle disrespect gracefully without letting it shake your inner stability. With these tools, you'll learn how to protect your energy, uphold your dignity, and walk away with your head held high, no matter how others treat you. But employing these methods isn't easy. Why? Because to deal with disrespect the way the Stoics did, the way they do now, that is to say, to deal with them completely, you'll need to make an important distinction, one people often fail to make, one that often leads to their inability to deal effectively with those who disrespect them. It is the distinction between properly employing Stoic techniques and employing them wrongly, sometimes so utterly wrongly that they easily slip into reactive and aggressive behavior. The Stoics make it a point to avoid aggression, because reacting with aggression, even in the slightest, is a contradiction to the goal of maintaining their peace of mind. And so to handle people who disrespect us like the Stoics, then, we must do the same. We must make it a point to never employ techniques that might escalate or prolong disagreeable proceedings, such as the technique to embrace the silent stare, the prolonged stare, or any other intimidation tactic. We must choose against such cheap theatrics because we value inner peace and calm, because we know the futility of such acts and their potential to further the hostility and animosity already sown. If you appreciate what we're doing here, do us a simple free favor by liking the video and subscribing to the channel. And do watch the video till the end to get the mindfulness needed to handle people who disrespect you. We post videos that explore Stoicism and its principles every week, sometimes multiple times a week, whenever serious consideration and thought allow it. Now let's get into it. This is real talk for tough people, the Stoic way. Don't skip it, don't rush it. Hook those earphones up and let things go. Embrace the pause. Handling disrespect the Stoic way is about mastering the art of the calm, controlled pause, a brief moment that speaks volumes without uttering a word. The pause is a cornerstone of Stoic wisdom because it allows the Stoic to keep their inner calm while communicating strength and self-respect to others. When someone disrespects you, it's all too easy to react immediately, to let anger or hurt push you into a response that reflects their behavior rather than your own values. But the Stoics knew that true power lies in not being easily shaken by the negativity of others. This pause, however brief, creates a powerful space, a moment to gather yourself and decide how to respond intentionally rather than react impulsively. Imagine someone making a cutting remark or attempting to belittle you. Your first impulse might be to defend yourself, to snap back, or even to retreat. But the Stoic way to handle people who disrespect us is to respond with quiet strength, grounded in patience and self-mastery. When you take a calm breath, maintain steady eye contact, and hold silence for a moment, you're doing more than just pausing. You're showing that you are present and fully aware, but also that their disrespect has no power over your emotional state. This approach, grounded in the Stoic virtues of self-control and wisdom, shows that you are centered, self-assured, and entirely beyond petty provocations. This momentary pause is not passive, it's active and intentional. It conveys, I see you, but I'm not drawn into your negativity. The other person becomes subtly aware that their words haven't rattled you, and often, this shift in the dynamic is enough to neutralize their energy. It's a quiet boundary, one that says, I respect myself enough not to let your disrespect disturb my peace. Now let's compare this with a different silent response, the silent stare, which is more intense and prolonged, as well as the opposite of the Stoic approach. A prolonged, piercing stare may appear calm on the surface, but it carries an undertone of judgment, intimidation, or passive aggression. While this tactic might feel powerful, it risks conveying anger or hostility, which is not in line with Stoic principles. Stoicism is not about displaying superiority or putting someone down, even silently. It's about cultivating inner peace and acting with reason, regardless of how others act. The silent stare gives the impression of internal turbulence, an attempt to overpower the other person rather than rise above the situation. In contrast, the Stoic pause is free from power play. It's simply an act of self-control. It allows the Stoic to remain unruffled, fully aware and composed. There's no need to dominate the other person's attention. Instead, the Stoic's calmness stands as a testament to their inner strength and clarity. This pause is brief, purposeful, and rooted in the principle of focus on what you can control, which is your own reaction, not the other person's behavior. Here's how this looks in practice. After someone says or does something rude, take a calm breath, hold eye contact for a moment, and remain silent. This split-second pause gives the impression of composed control and is often enough to shift the dynamic without lingering in silence too long. This technique, when practiced properly, shows that you're present, attentive, and unmoved by negativity. You're establishing a calm boundary without words. The Stoic approach to handling disrespect reminds us of the power of restraint. Instead of reacting with anger or defensiveness, the Stoic seeks to rise above the situation, keeping their mind untroubled and free from unnecessary conflict. The ability to respond calmly, without the need to retaliate or make the other person feel small, demonstrates self-mastery, a quality that brings strength and dignity to the Stoic. This pause is an opportunity to make a choice. Do I need to respond verbally, or does silence speak enough? Often, that calm silence is more effective than words, as it signals both inner strength and disinterest in engaging with negativity. The Stoic pause allows you to assess whether the situation truly warrants a response, or if it's better to simply let go and move on without allowing the other person's behavior to affect you. The momentary stillness the Stoic pause provides is a declaration of your own self-worth and calm presence, a way of saying, I don't need to react to this. I choose to keep my peace. Practice it enough, and you begin to embody the principles of Stoicism, transforming disrespect into an opportunity for growth and resilience. Over time, you become increasingly grounded and unshakable, a person who maintains their composure and integrity regardless of how others choose to behave. This is true inner strength, the kind that can handle the disrespect of others with unwavering calm and clarity. Embrace silence as your answer. In Stoic philosophy, silence is a powerful response to disrespect, but it's the intention behind it that makes it effective. The Stoics teach us that when someone is disrespectful or rude, the only thing within our control is our reaction. It's not about passively accepting mistreatment or retreating out of fear. Rather, it's about exercising self-mastery and choosing to respond with calmness, restraint, and rationality rather than letting our emotions take the lead. By choosing silence in such moments, we're upholding our inner peace and refusing to let negativity take root within us. This silent response is deliberate. It is a clear act of non-engagement that signals we're prioritizing our well-being over the fleeting satisfaction of reacting. In doing so, we're preserving our energy for things that truly matter and steering clear of pointless confrontations that could compromise our peace of mind. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that other people's actions reveal more about them than about us. When we choose silence in the face of disrespect, we're making a conscious decision to protect our own mental space from their influence. We are showing, in that brief moment of stillness, that their words or actions do not control our emotions. In this way, silence isn't just a lack of response. It's a reflection of an inner decision to stay rooted in our values. It is a choice to allow someone's rude words or negative energy to linger without the reward of a reaction. Imagine someone making a cutting remark, fully expecting to see you flinch or lash back. Instead, you maintain composure, letting their words fade into the air with no reaction. This pause doesn't imply disdain, nor does it signal superiority. Instead, it conveys a grounded, unshakable presence that says, "I'm choosing not to engage with your negativity." This restraint keeps us focused on what's within our control, our own behavior and peace of mind, and frees us from investing energy in unnecessary drama. Epictetus emphasized that others' actions are beyond our control and therefore irrelevant to our peace of mind. When we respond with silence, we're not labeling the other person as unworthy of a response. We're simply deciding not to allow the situation to disrupt our tranquility. This approach is not an avoidance strategy, but an affirmation of our commitment to maintaining inner calm and self-respect. It reflects the idea that we do not need external validation or approval to feel secure in ourselves. By choosing silence, we're also inviting a certain level of introspection in the other person. Sometimes, when someone is met with silence after being rude or disrespectful, they're left to confront their own behavior. Without the immediate release of provoking a reaction, they may feel the weight of their own words. This response, or lack thereof, can prompt them to reflect on their own actions in ways that a defensive reaction never would. The Stoics believed that our focus should remain on our character and actions rather than on the moods or tempers of others. By not allowing their behavior to rattle us, we're upholding this Stoic principle and preserving our integrity. The Stoics also emphasized the importance of dignity and self-respect, and silence is a way of quietly affirming these values. When we choose not to react to provocations, we are maintaining our dignity, showing that our sense of self-worth doesn't depend on the opinions or behavior of others. Seneca wrote about the need to protect our mental state from disturbances, suggesting that we should be deliberate in what we allow to affect us. Silence in this context is a tool for preserving our mental clarity and protecting our peace. By filtering out unnecessary negativity, we reinforce our inner stability, remaining unaffected by the highs and lows of external provocations. Silence, then, becomes a form of strength. It's a powerful reminder that we have the choice to either be dragged into the emotional chaos of others or to rise above it. Far from being passive or weak, silence requires discipline, patience, and self-respect. It's an assertion of one's commitment to living by principle, not by impulse. The Stoics teach us that true freedom comes from our ability to govern our own mind, to choose responses that reflect our values and character rather than reacting based on fleeting emotions. Choosing silence in the face of disrespect embodies several core Stoic principles: self-mastery, dignity, and peace. Next time you encounter disrespect, remember that silence isn't about dismissing others. It's about honoring your own calm and resisting the pull of negativity. This deliberate non-engagement not only protects your inner peace, but also serves as a reminder of your resilience and strength. It's an act of quiet self-respect that says, "I am in control of my emotions, and I choose not to be disturbed." Stop explaining your choices. A fundamental tenet of Stoic philosophy is embracing self-mastery and autonomy, the ability to live according to our own principles and values, unburdened by the need for external validation. One way to practice this autonomy is by letting go of the compulsion to justify our life choices to others. The Stoics recognized that constantly explaining ourselves drains our energy, weakens our resolve, and hands over our inner peace to the whims of other people's judgments. When people question your choices, they're often not looking for genuine understanding. They're seeking reassurance or validation for their own life paths. They may feel unsettled by someone making decisions confidently and independently, especially if it challenges their own beliefs or insecurities. But explaining yourself allows their opinions to infiltrate your mind, creating unnecessary doubt and potentially eroding the inner conviction that drove your decision in the first place. Instead, the Stoic approach encourages us to recognize our autonomy and trust in our choices. Epictetus would remind us that others' discomfort or judgments lie outside of our control and therefore are not our responsibility. Imagine someone questioning a career change you've made, asking why you would leave a stable job or pursue something unconventional. It's tempting to launch into a detailed explanation, to rationalize your decision to prove its worth. But by doing so, you're inadvertently making their approval a factor in your confidence. Instead, a simple response like, "Because I wanted to," can convey a quiet assurance and trust in your own path. It sends a clear message: I don't need external validation to believe in my choices. This confidence in oneself, this ability to refrain from explaining, is at the heart of Stoic self-mastery. When we stop feeling obligated to explain, we reinforce our trust in our values and our sense of self-respect. As Seneca noted, we don't need the approval of others to act confidently. Our choices are valid simply because they are in alignment with our reasoned intentions. By reserving explanations for those rare moments when they are truly needed, perhaps when communicating with a close friend or mentor, we conserve our mental energy, preserving it for things that genuinely serve our growth. Choosing not to explain also reinforces the principle that your choices need only meet your own standards, not society's expectations. Stoicism encourages us to look inward for guidance rather than seeking affirmation from others. If you're clear on your values, your actions will naturally reflect them. When someone questions your decision to spend your free time studying philosophy, pursuing a passion project, or making lifestyle changes, consider whether they're truly invested in your happiness or just projecting their own concerns onto you. Stoic wisdom teaches that the right path is often misunderstood by others, not because it's wrong, but because it's unique to you. This approach isn't about dismissing others or isolating yourself from their perspectives. Instead, it's about ensuring that your choices are rooted in a firm understanding of what matters to you. If you've made a decision after careful thought and self-reflection, then it stands strong, regardless of outside opinions. When you refrain from explaining, you're protecting this foundation from unnecessary influence. This is a form of guarding your mind, a way to maintain your inner stability by not allowing the opinions of others to shift your focus or disturb your peace. Stoic autonomy also means recognizing when explanations serve no constructive purpose. Often, the impulse to explain arises not from a need for communication, but from a desire to manage others' reactions or avoid their judgments. But by letting go of this impulse, you accept that other people's reactions are beyond your control. Whether they understand or agree is irrelevant to your peace of mind and commitment to your path. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the importance of returning to the self, of grounding one's decisions in inner purpose rather than external noise. Furthermore, choosing not to explain fosters resilience and independence. When we constantly look to others to validate our choices, We become reliant on their opinions for our confidence. But when we practice restraint and stand firm in our silence, we strengthen our self-trust and resilience. We communicate to ourselves that our decisions are valid and our values are enough. This, in turn, builds a sense of integrity, acting from a place of inner conviction rather than people-pleasing. In choosing silence over explanation, you are also reinforcing the Stoic principle of conserving your energy. Repeatedly justifying yourself can be exhausting, especially when dealing with people who may never fully understand or support your choices. By saving your energy for meaningful pursuits, you align more closely with Stoic values of purposefulness and intentional living. Your choices don't need to be justified to everyone, they need only align with your true self. In the end, the Stoic way to handle the questioning or judgments of others is to maintain your course with quiet confidence. By choosing not to explain yourself unnecessarily, you're affirming that your life decisions are grounded in values and convictions that are meaningful to you alone. It's not about ignoring others, but about honoring your own peace, trusting in your path, and letting your choices speak for themselves. This is Stoic self-mastery in action, a commitment to autonomy, dignity, and inner clarity, regardless of others' opinions. Keep your distance. Distancing yourself from those who consistently disrespect you is a powerful act of self-respect in Stoic philosophy. Creating this distance isn't a reaction born of anger or resentment. Rather, it's an intentional choice rooted in the Stoic commitment to inner peace. The Stoics teach that our energy and mental space are precious resources, not to be squandered on people who drain our sense of self-worth. By placing intentional boundaries between ourselves and those who disrespect us, we're actively protecting our well-being, just as we'd protect our physical health. The Stoics understood that not everyone deserves a close place in our lives, especially if they undermine our boundaries, ignore our values, or consistently belittle us. This choice to create space is a conscious assertion of our dignity. It's about recognizing that we're not obligated to entertain those who add stress, negativity, or instability to our lives. Distance, in this sense, serves as a safeguard, a quiet assertion of self-respect. Rather than engaging in endless cycles of confrontation or justification, we choose to maintain our calm by limiting interactions with those who disrespect us. A powerful example of this is a friend whose critical remarks gradually wear down our self-esteem. We all have one such friend, don't we? And what do we do when we've had enough of their remarks? Or shall we say, when we've gained enough experience to see their insidious intrusion that eats away at our soul? We limit our interactions with them. By limiting our interactions with such friends, we free ourselves from the daily toll of criticism and doubt. The distance brings us clarity, revealing that we deserve relationships that uplift, support, and inspire us rather than diminish our confidence. This is the approach Stoicism encourages us to take, to observe the people in our lives without judgment, but with awareness. Sometimes, creating distance offers an honest perspective on the impact someone has on our well-being. This distance isn't a punishment for the other person. It's a choice to honor ourselves and protect our peace. Stoicism places great value on inner tranquility and self-respect over blind loyalty. And while forgiveness is valuable, in fact a Stoic virtue, it doesn't mean allowing people to repeatedly cross boundaries. In fact, Stoic wisdom suggests that true forgiveness doesn't require constant proximity or tolerance of harmful behavior. Forgiving someone can be an internal act, letting go of resentment while still choosing to limit their influence in your life. This approach allows us to maintain peace without compromising our values or our sense of self. Prioritizing your peace is a Stoic principle that aligns with nurturing constructive and balanced relationships. By distancing ourselves from those who undermine our well-being, we're sending a message to ourselves that we deserve respect and kindness. This doesn't mean avoiding everyone who challenges us. Constructive criticism from a trusted friend can be valuable. However, if a relationship consistently brings us stress or self-doubt without adding anything meaningful, the Stoic path would suggest creating space. As Epictetus taught, our focus should remain on what's within our control, and that includes who we choose to invest our time and energy in. This act of creating distance strengthens our inner resilience. We're not severing ties out of weakness. We're simply making a deliberate choice to surround ourselves with people who bring value and positivity. Often, distance serves as a natural filter, allowing relationships based on respect to flourish and those based on manipulation or disrespect to fade away. When we consciously choose who to keep close, we're embodying the Stoic ideals of self-mastery and intentional living. We're not allowing others' actions to dictate our state of mind. Instead, we're steering our lives toward calm and clarity. Additionally, distance offers the opportunity for self-reflection and growth. When we're constantly engaged with people who drain us, it's difficult to see things clearly. Their influence can cloud our judgment and affect our sense of self-worth. But by stepping back, we gain perspective. We can objectively assess the relationship without the pull of guilt or emotional manipulation. We can ask ourselves, is this person contributing to my growth, my peace, my purpose? If the answer is no, then keeping a respectful distance is a powerful affirmation of our self-respect. This doesn't stop you from helping them when they need help, but it does enable you to create space when they aren't helping your situation and peace of mind. Ultimately, this decision to distance ourselves isn't about shutting people out. It's about creating an environment that nurtures our well-being and aligns with our values. The Stoic approach encourages us to invest in relationships that support our inner peace rather than disrupt it. While we can forgive those who have disrespected us, we don't have to make space for them in our daily lives, not if they have willingly become disrespectful and keep continuing to be so, despite our best efforts to make them see reason. So by prioritizing our own tranquility, we're choosing a life grounded in dignity, peace, and self-respect. In the end, those who truly respect us will understand and honor our boundaries, and those who don't are best kept at a respectful distance. This doesn't mean we close ourselves off or avoid relationships altogether. Rather, we're refining our circle to include those who align with our values. This selective openness is a profound act of Stoic wisdom, a way to live with intention and authenticity, knowing that our peace is our own to protect. By nurturing relationships that support our well-being, we are reinforcing the Stoic principle that true strength lies in our ability to choose our responses, our actions, and ultimately, the company we keep. Hold your head high. Holding your head high is a powerful Stoic response to disrespect, one that projects self-worth and dignity without needing to speak a single word. Stoicism teaches that our self-respect is intrinsic. It doesn't depend on how others view us, nor should it waver based on their judgments or insults. By standing tall in the face of disrespect, you're signaling that their words hold no power over your peace of mind. This subtle yet profound response allows you to maintain your inner calm and show that your confidence is rooted in self-awareness, not in the shifting opinions of others. The Stoic approach to disrespect is not about ignoring it out of weakness or avoiding confrontation due to fear. Instead, it's a conscious decision to refuse others the power to disturb your equilibrium. Disrespect, in this light, becomes an opportunity to practice inner strength and patience, to prove to yourself that your peace is unshakable. Stoicism reminds us that if we remain unfazed and poised, those who seek to unsettle us lose their influence. People who belittle others often do so to feel a sense of control or superiority, but when their words slide off you effortlessly, their attempts are rendered futile. When experiencing subtle insults, dismissive remarks meant to chip away at our confidence rather than engaging or reacting, we should keep an unshaken stance, refusing to give those words the satisfaction of impact. By holding our heads high, we assert our worth silently. Over time, this calm response has a powerful effect. The negativity gradually ceases, as the person dishing it out finds no fuel to continue. This is the Stoic way, to show, without needing to say, that our self-worth is resilient and independent of external criticism. This practice is more than a posture. It's a mental assertion of your own value. It's a way of affirming that your worth is defined by your character and principles, not by others' opinions or attempts to diminish you. When you hold your head high, you're embodying the belief that your dignity is intact, untouchable by others' actions. Stoicism encourages us to look inward for validation, to recognize that our own judgment is sufficient. By standing firm and confident in your own worth, you're sending a clear message. I respect myself enough to remain calm, and I refuse to be disturbed by external negativity. The Stoic perspective emphasizes that we should focus on what is within our control, our response, our calm, and our dignity. In the face of disrespect, it's tempting to lower ourselves to the same level, to snap back or retaliate. But Stoicism teaches that this approach ultimately harms our peace, for it hands over our composure to someone else's actions. By choosing to rise above, to hold our heads high, we're showing that our emotional state is firmly under our control. Negativity can slide off us when we choose to be unaffected, prioritizing our own well-being over fleeting reactions. Moreover, this attitude of calm resilience serves as a natural filter in relationships. When you carry yourself with dignity, you naturally repel those who seek to belittle or control others. They quickly learn that they have no power over you and often withdraw. Ultimately, Stoicism encourages us to surround ourselves with those who uplift us rather than drain our spirit. By holding your head high, you're not only protecting your peace, but setting a standard for how you wish to be treated. When others see that disrespect doesn't sway you, they come to understand that your worth is beyond their influence. This quiet, composed response is a testament to your inner resilience, a reminder that your value is grounded in your own character and convictions. The Stoic way to handle disrespect is, therefore, a powerful exercise in self-mastery. It's about rising above petty interactions and focusing on the people and experiences that genuinely contribute to your growth and happiness. Let disrespect slide off you, and remember that your worth is yours to define. If you like what we do, feel free to do more by liking and sharing the video, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, to the community. How, you ask? By hitting that like button as a symbol of your commitment to change, by subscribing to join a community where wisdom isn't just shared but lived to help us create powerful stuff. And don't forget to hit the notification bell, the gentle chime of a Stoic philosopher, reminding you to return to this space of learning and growth. Each like, each subscription, each notification is a step towards a collective awakening. And if you feel that stirring in your heart, a resonance with the words of Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, or Epictetus, share this video. That will help us immensely in continuing to create unique and powerful stuff for the community. Everything changes when you truly hear what Stoicism has been telling us all along. Everything gets better. Your self-discipline, your self-control, your temperance, your cultivation of inner peace and resilience, your self-awareness, your equanimity. You practice forgiveness more often. You stop caring what others think. You start to live with a sense of calm, clarity, and purpose. Even the practice of Stoic principles of the dichotomy of control, negative visualization, memento mori, amor fati, and the view from above gets easier and, more importantly, effective.